Hello everyone who ends up watching this. It's me, Madeline, and I'm doing an everyday makeup tutorial today. I'm starting with a clean, fresh face, just washed it, and the first thing I do when I get ready is I put on some of this yellow correcting concealer under my eyes. And the reason I use the yellow is because it'll cancel out the blue and purple of the bags that are there, because you know those don't go away. I usually just put on like a little stripe and then I blend it out with my ring finger. And I do this first because then the foundation and concealer that goes on top of it will conceal the yellow enough so that it doesn't look like yellow. Okay, so now that that's done, I go right into my foundation, and for foundation I use this one from L'Oreal. It's called True Match, and I'm the shade C2, which is Natural Ivory. Then I put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna buff that onto my skin with this sparkly brush. One thing you cannot forget to do is blend with your neck. That is the worst mistake that people make. Then I'm making sure that I blend it in with that yellow concealer, because otherwise I'll have yellow bags under my eyes. Now that foundation is done, I'm going to go in with my concealer, and this is the best concealer I have ever used. It's called Tarte Shape Tape. The internet is crazy about it. Basically anywhere you go, you will find Shape Tape. And I kind of do this half triangle under my eyes. And then I'm going to blend that out with this beauty blender once I get it wet. So now that I have a damp beauty sponge, I'm going to blend that kind of down and out, covering all the area that I would ever have redness or bags. Alright, now that I'm all concealed and I have a good base for my face, I am going to go in with powder. So this is my favorite powder of all time. This is probably like the 6th time I've repurchased it. Rimmel Stay Matte. This is another pretty popular product that a lot of beauty gurus use that I've seen, but it's never done me wrong. So here we go. I'm just taking this buffing, like fluffy brush, I guess, kind of swirling it around, tapping it off, and then applying it the same way I started my foundation, with the forehead, going all around my face with it. And this gives a matte look at first, definitely, but a few hours into the day, it's definitely more natural, and that's why I like it. Some of you might be wondering, what's the purpose of powder? Why should I use powder? Well, powder basically makes sure that your makeup stays on more than like 2 hours. And now that I've covered my whole general face, I like to go in under my eyes again with a highlighting powder from my very clean Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. And I use, guess which shade I use? I'm going into this one, what little is left of it, with a small brush like this. Yeah. Doing the best I can. And going right underneath my eye to make sure that my concealer will stay in place all day. Alright, now that that is done, I think I'll do a little contouring. Another thing that I never leave the house without is a nose contour. And contouring, the basics of contouring is basically highlighting the shadows of your face and bringing those out with a darker shade of powder. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit again, kind of carving out the dimensions of my nose on both sides. And then this is what makes it really pop, going underneath to kind of give your nose that slant, and then over the top. Now that my face has all 3 dimensions and I've fixed my hair to be even more ridiculous, I'm going to start my eyebrows. It's a challenge to get them symmetrical every day. I use this shade called Power Player in the bottom row, and I just use an angled brush to apply that. How I start is I take the brush and make a line right underneath, and then I take another swipe and do the top like curve, the arch, that's what it's called. Then I can kind of fill in between those 2 lines and everything will kind of come together. Kind of carving out the top here too. And then going, oh, I have a mirror right here. Okay. And then going in near the center. Alright, yeah, that looks decent. And then I do the same thing on the other side. Now that I've filled in both my brows, I touch them up a little bit. And how I do that is I take this concealer, it's Maybelline Fit Me. It's a good go-to, like, cheaper concealer. And I'm putting just a little dot of that underneath each brow. Then I'm taking this flat curved brush from the Naked palette. This is literally the only time I ever use this brush. The brushes that come with the palettes are terrible. 10 out of 10, would not recommend. What I do next is I take this brush and bring the concealer right underneath to really make the brow stand out, make it even sharper than it would have been without the concealer. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back in with Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to put a little bit on my eyelids just to make me not look dead. How I set this is I go back in with the contour kit. Same brush I used for under my eyes, same color I used for under my eyes. And now that I'm done with that, I go in with mascara, and this is my favorite one from Too Faced. Just gonna put that right on, and how I do my mascara is I kind of roll the brush onto the lashes and then blink a little bit through it. Another main part of my mascara routine is I take an old mascara brush, this is like from ages ago, and I kind of stroke that through my lashes to make sure that I don't get any clumps, make sure they're all separated, natural looking, etc. So that's usually it for all the eye makeup I wear like on a daily basis, just because I don't want to be waking up half an hour early to do some crazy eye makeup every day. So I've been using this blush for ages also. It's Maybelline Fit Me, and it's in the shade, what shade is it? Pink Rose. I'm taking this blending brush from Clinique, swirling it around, tapping it off, smiling so I know where to put it, and blending that out. So probably my favorite part besides brows is highlight. For my everyday highlight, I take this extremely clean NYX highlight palette. I don't know how to describe this brush. It's fluffy, but every other brush is fluffy because they're brushes. I'm taking this golden shade first, dipping it in a little bit there, then putting it right on top of my cheekbone, and doing the same for the other side. Then taking the lightest shade right here, and I tried this lip gloss out when I first got it and I hated it. And then this whole glossy lip trend started and now I'm back with it. So I'm just taking a little bit of this and putting it right on my lips. So that is all for this makeup tutorial. I don't have a YouTube channel. You don't have to subscribe. Thanks for watching, even though you were probably forced to. Hope you enjoyed.